Hey, what a beautiful morning. Ah, boy. Well, we'll be back from vacation. We had a little rest spell. Um, I hope you enjoy your vacation. Well, I had the people complaining, even though I was on vacation, they didn't seem sure that what happened this one. Well, we had to take a little break because things was getting a little sweet. You have to rest your body. Mel, you looking a little beautiful and ready to go again for this
Yes,
long run.
Tony, thank you. Like you, I was privileged with 2 weeks break. Of
Wow.
course, I was the first one to give short notice and didn't notify our viewing audience, and so I apologize for that. And then when I returned, the master was gone. So I guess
Well,
things
well,
happen.
I say, you're well rested because you're looking beautiful and this white this morning. So, as I say that, at least I know you're gonna say thank you later, but you can say thank you now.
I
Just
did.
to give me,
I did.
I ain't messing with you, but it is good
Okay.
that you got to bring some humor in it. So make sure you know that
Yeah.
we live and we living because a lot of people ain't living today. People just going through the motion.
Wow.
Um, we have a lot of people just they wake up in the morning, go to work, drink coffee, get off from work, come home, eat like a pig, and sit down, watch TV, and then go to bed. That's the normal people do. Majority of people do.
Which is
That
not
and
very good, eh?
that is a disaster. That's a disaster. And then they say on the weekend they get up and they'll say to you, "I don't feel good." That's what they do. That's what Bahamians normally do. Routine. So four things happen there. They also tell you about how they only sleep till 4 o'clock. They can't sleep no later because they up and they're ready to go. So many things are going wrong there. They're not getting enough sleep. Think about it. They having the stress, and the only thing they resort to is coffee in the morning because that makes them feel good. That get them the boost. You see, coffee get them the shot, get the energy, and they come home and they lazy, and then they always complaining. Most people, this is their complaint. I don't feel good. But I don't feel good. That's mental. That's all right up in this big blockhead.
You think?
That's what it is. Because you got to be, because you got to be a mind block person to believe that four things in life you do. Some people park their car from Friday until Monday again. You know that, right? Okay.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, okay. There's nothing wrong with that because the rest, you get your rest. But I talking about the ones who running and gunning all the time, all over the place, all over, running and gunning. The mind never stop because I used to be one of them. That's how I could talk this morning. And so I just bring that to you. And you can't feel well because you ain't giving yourself time to catch yourself. You ain't giving your body time to function. Everything is always routine, going bang, bang, bang. You have to fix it. Put a little exercise in it. Gotta fix it. And when you talk about you sick, that's only in the mind. That. Oh, I struggling to get out of bed. Oh, that's all in the mind. And a lot of people live in their minds. So my health tip today, yours now.
Your vice head.
Yeah.
Hold on. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I think Tony enjoys the um, health tips, and
Mhm.
so he has taken us. right down the path of the health tip that I am supposed to be presenting this morning. And I like the fact that he is sold out to health, because that's where we all need to be. And I have the image here on the screen, and it's all about prevention. In the head, if you remember when we started and introduced this health segment to our show, we adopted the World Health Organization definition of health, which is basically a balance between your mental, physical, social, and general well being, and not merely the absence of disease. However, there's a lot of emphasis on disease prevention, but prevention goes beyond just disease. And that is where we want to take you as we continue with our health tips. We introduced that beautiful formula of the new start, where we looked at all the different segments representing the acronym NEWSTART. Well, today we want to go a little deeper and continue for the remainder of our journey with you on this show, talking about prevention. And in the Bahamas, we always, well, let me take that back because I don't hear it anymore as we used to when we were growing up. It says a ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And over here in the right lower segment, you see medication, medication, medication of all sorts. And that is what scares me personally when I go through my daily encounter with individuals, and all it seems to be within the Bahamian population is I'm on this medication, I'm on that medication, I'm on the other. But what about prevention? Prevention is health. When you establish good, healthy routines, such as the New Start, you are bound to experience good health. And so, over the coming weeks, we're going to address a few major health issues within our population. The first one is obesity. It kills, it's killing the world, it's preventable. The second one, we see it. Sorry, Tony.
Hmm.
Okay, thought I heard you. And then the next thing we hear in our local news on a regular basis is suicide. And look at it, it is 100% preventable. 100% preventable. And then finally, another thing that's taking out our population is cancers. And there are many ways that you can reduce cancer, and they all are grounded in the New Start formula. So, as we go through the weeks, I want you to stay tuned. If you don't come to our forum for any other thing, I recommend that you come over the next couple of weeks because we're going to be providing you with some very vital information for preserving your health and well being and preventing all of these dreaded states. I'm not going to call them diseases, conditions, or anything. They're simply states involving the mind, the body, and the spirit. Remember, balance is everything. And Tony, let's take on our topic for today.
Well, before I take on the topic, something I want to clear up. There's some people need to know these things that people need to know. First, of all, when we sit on our show, we don't sit on our show from the top of our head. The show is not based on top of our head. This show is based on information, knowledge, and well qualified individuals. Let me say this to the public so they can understand where you sit and where you speak from. And I'll be short. Melanie is well qualified, and so we got to give her props here. See, I want the public to know that she studied her PhD, and she has her PhD, and so we're gonna give her props, and we're gonna now give her full name instead of calling her Melanie on the show. We're gonna call her Dr. Lightburn. So people could understand where she speaks from the health part. She's not speaking from the rubber of the dump. And she is well qualified, well trained, and well deserving her. And she's well deserving of her. So I'm gonna make sure the public know that we're talking Dr. Lightburn is very qualified. And so I need the public to know that. So when she speak, she knows she's talking about from the health point. Anyway, Melanie, what's our show? I just think they need to know that. See, the public need to know because they think that we from the rubber stump and we from the bush yard, and so I have to let them know. There's qualified people on the show. So because people is they get see sometimes you say no 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 do that, but you gotta choke some people. You gotta let them know. Don't just talk foolishness. You ain't talking no foolishness. You're well trained. Moving on. What's that topic today?
Who's to be blamed?
Who's to be blamed? Who's to be blamed for the dying children doing all this crap in the society today? Who's to be blamed is correct. Who's to be blamed for all this murder on the street this weekend, last week? Who's to be blamed for all these rude children when you go to the food store, when you go to the doctor's office? These rude children. Who's to be blamed for these naked women shaking up on these TikTok and this? And who's to be blamed for the suicides? Who's to be blamed? We blame the police. We blame the politician. We blame the mother. We blame the grandmother. We blame the auntie. We blame the teachers. We blame the church. We blame everybody. But we now gotta hold people accountable. You cannot blame my mother bring this one up and this one going to then pick up a gun and kill somebody. You can't blame mother for that no more. That's old news. We gotta blame these individuals who gotta know. You gotta know in your mind. You gotta know right from wrong. You know, if I slap you, it hurt. That's why you retaliate on me. So you know that. So you got the right sense to know that if you hit somebody, it hurt. If you shoot somebody, it hurt. If you kill somebody, it hurts somebody else. You got to know these basic principles. Listen, these is basic thing. I ain't cutting this. No. Listen, I angry. So I rather you take the show because where I sit, I angry with these damn pigeons flying around the Bahamas, shooting everybody, killing everybody, robbing everybody, taking your car. But most of all, you are in the doctor's office and you cannot, what's that word I need? Comprehend that we close. I'd experience. You in the doctor's office and you want your results, and the clerk is telling you we close. And you start carrying on from one thing and you end up saying things like these politicians need to get this government straight, get this country straight because because what that has to do with politician. This is where I meant. See, we need to reprogram our minds again. I ain't talking about the 5-year old and 6-year old. I blame parents for that. But I talking about people from 10-year old. You gotta have. See, don't blame the parents because they say, but I don't know. You ever go into court? You know the court tell you ignorance is what?
No excuse.
No excuse. You know why they tell you that? Because you old enough. You live long enough, you learn some things on the road. You don't learn them from home, you learn them from the road. Common sense is a very simple thing. You don't learn that from mother. Common sense basically grow with you. The word no sink in your brain from early, from probably what, 1 year old, 2 year old, or earlier, right? The word no. You as a nurse and doctor, you should know the word no. How you understand it when you start understanding that? Okay,
Ay.
from you about
From
2 months.
before I could speak.
Okay,
From
all right,
before I could speak, I understood what
right.
no meant. And if persons have a problem agreeing with me, go and find a family with a child that is under a year who has not developed the language as yet and say no to them when they're trying to do something, and you will see that everyone, after I would say the age of 6 to 8 months being on this earth, would have had exposure and comprehension to the word no.
So you could follow constructions of the word no from very young. So you have basic common sense very young. You mightn't be smart enough to follow all the, but very young, it's a gradual thing that you grow with. You mightn't have certain principles, practical of living, like Christian and this, but the basic things, no, yes, you can't have that. I start from very young. Stop making noise. That, that, so there's no excuse. See, so when you have these pigeons running around with gun everywhere, you have to tell these pigeons, no, no, we ain't doing it. And if there's no mother, police to be blamed for this, you tell me as you was growing up and you go to touch something and your parents say no, you leave it. So if something ain't belongs to you, you can leave it. This is a basic thing. We make it so complicated. It seems complicated. You know how much times you wanted chocolate out the fridge and your mother said that belongs to so and so you left it. So you know if that's somebody else's money and yours, you don't touch it. So
What is
very
also
early.
interesting, What is also interesting, I think, is how do we get to honor the word no? We have been taught through trial and error. When someone says no and you proceed, they give you something to deter you. It's usually a stern look. And if that look doesn't work, you get a spanking or a pinch or something that says, I mean no. When I say no, I mean no. And so that is the way that we get to learn to respect boundaries, to respect people's property, to respect and
Yeah,
value
that's the
life.
point they're making. The boundary. So you know from early there's certain boundaries you don't fool with. Early. Very early. So that tells me when you reach 16, 17, doing food, you want to do that.
Hmm.
Ain't no mother in that. That's your mindset. See, you gone out and stray from what your mother told you, and you gone into smoke your dope, and you going into your new world of I know better, I know everything. Don't care how much times your mother could tell you it's your mind. Don't care how much mother it's your mind. Your mother could tell you. Listen, when I started uh, to fool around woman around 17, 18, my mother used to say things like, boy, what sweet your mouth and butter your backside. They say them funny things. I try to figure what they were. Them funny things. And one day she called me. She said, boy, come here. She said, let me tell you something. I try to steer you in the right way, but look like you won't go the wrong way. So I say, listen to me, mommy. Listen to the words. Mommy, what you talking about? I I got this. I ain't never getting myself in trouble. I got this. You don't steer me, and I got this. My time now for me to run my show. 6 months later, I had a girl pregnant. She said, I warn you, but you got this. You want to run your own show. So, but now parents, the two parents coming together, watch now. One come walking. Oh, your son big up my daughter. And in that time, the little job I was making, I didn't want to share my little money. But I made that decision myself because I was warned. So ain't no mother in that. The most kids are being warned. Parents warn them. The police warn them. Family warn them. Church warn them. They're being warned, and they do what they want to do because their mind is all now. It could be society, so it could be the environment, and so it could be that we're not paying attention to our surrounding, where our children is involved in. So our focus mightn't be in the house as much. We might need to take a holistic approach at it
Yeah.
and and cut out what we do in society.
I agree with you, not only in the latter statement that you made, but also in the previous areas that you highlighted. It is a combination of the home environment as well as what's going on in the society. Because you mentioned it, a family could raise two, three, four children. Three of them can be what we would call upright, law abiding citizens, whilst one is a disruptive, maladjusted individual, or some people will just choose to say, maladjusted, he's just deviant. But at the end of the day, it's what goes on in the individual mind. I always go back to my grandmother, my father's mother, who would always say, the mind of a person makes a person. So everyone gets the same teaching, but some people feel that they have been shortchanged to the advantage of others, and they feel that they have to push and fight in order to be recognized or to get what they perceive to be owing to them. So that's one of the things that you probably cannot control, but it is something that we need to be mindful of in our homes, in the church, in the workplace, wherever we are. Be sensitive to the need of everyone. And we can tell when someone is not happy. We can tell when someone is disgruntled. But oftentimes we have a tendency to turn a blind eye, a deaf ear, or just simply disregard the individual. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that we're not all the same.
But you know, go on. You know something?
Hmm.
I can put something forward today, and we can carry this through. Between me and you, we're gonna carry this through, and we can present it. We got to do a study. Me and you got to do a deep study on why crime, or why the mindset of crime, or why the children mindset is different than the children mindset of the family island. I tell you why. Tell you why I say that. That sound heavy, but check this out. On the family island, let's look at Long Island. Why they don't have much crime? You say because it ain't much people. No, the culture. So either it's a few things, and I say this a joke. Either it's the water surround them. This is a joke. But you know what I think? This is what I think. This is why I say we got to do the study on it. I think the level, and if you check their schooling, their schooling does well. The level, see, we used to say color. You know, the white people behave and the black people can't behave.
Oh, and
Right?
I so hate to hear people say
Right.
that. What
That's what we
happened to
say.
black children?
Yeah.
White
Yeah.
children in this way, but it isn't, it's
No,
not a,
but
a
guess what I think it is? Guess what I think? That's why we
Mhm.
can do a study on it. I think is what we listen to,
Mhm.
what we see.
Mhm.
It might be a lot of things, and that's why I said let's do the study. Because I tell you what we may find out, we might find out that what we're doing here in the Bahamas, in Nassau, is not good. It's not working, and it could be the music, because
I
the
have a
suddenly
theory. Yeah,
you have a team. Yeah,
I
so
have a theory.
it's
And
like a
the
study
thing
we have
about
to do
mhm, it's a
because
work.
I watch it. Yeah, in Abaco. See, I talk in places I've been, and the reason I say this, when you see 12 o'clock on Saturday, they shut down their town.
Midnight.
No store. No, 12 o'clock in the day on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
Okay.
stores closed. All the stores closed. 12 o'clock
Until
Monday morning.
wow.
You might find one big store open, if I remember, and that used to be Abacoma. I think that's the one store. But you find all the hardwares you can't find. They shut down in Mass Harbor in the city it shut down, and so in the capital, and so that might be a help to some of this mindset thing. People room in the street, too much room in the street. Some of these places we may need to shut down at certain times so people mind can rest. Instead of mothers out there working, you see what I mean? It might be something. It might be something we can find out. That's the key element to help these pigeons running loose, flying around. Let me tell you, Sunday shopping was a no-no when we grew up. When me and you grew up, right? You
Yeah,
know what that used to
Sunday,
do?
Sunday, the city was closed down.
You know what that used to do? Is to get more people in church.
Yeah,
And it,
hours of rest, more family
hours of
time.
rest, hours of rest, and the town. Think about what I can say here. It gives the parents time with the kids. It gives the police less working because town shut down, less police. So they can also take a break. This constant 24 hours running, we have gone into money. Everything is money. One of the things, one of also the things we used to do, I used to do for millions of times. Take bunch of children to church. I used to take bunch of children on the park, and the program I used to do. And I used to do it because I had time on Saturday and Sunday. So probably time. We don't put time into our children. I don't know what it has to do. We have to do a little study on it. So
The examples have changed,
yeah,
and
and
so
but
I
I remembered growing up kids. Listen to this. What I can say. This sounds crazy to you, but it's real. I remembered growing up kids was not my own,
hmm,
and I did it because I see the struggle of their parents. So I help. How many people do this? We don't do it no more because that's my children, and that's the people funny with their children.
as a matter of fact, it's interesting that you asked that question because the
Mhm.
people that do it today are ridiculed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People
Oh yeah. Oh
extend
yeah.
themselves to help others that are deprived are
Mhm.
ridiculed.
Oh
And
yeah.
then people that are struggling are whipped because they choose their struggle.
I sit.
So,
I sit in this chair as one of the persons who were ridiculed for helping hundreds of children, and it's frustrating when you're trying to do something for free. And I'm not afraid to speak truth. And you trying to do something for free, and you getting mash up, or you like money, you this and that, and nobody giving you a dollar. You working hard. You taking kids to Wendy's, McDonald's, church, buying them shoes, buying it, and after a while of getting abused, you see, I see Lawrence Road is always complain that he got a bad name. That's, when you're doing things, do good things, you get a bad name in this country
hmm,
because we only like people with money. We don't like people who on the ground doing something. You got a
so,
motive.
so Tony, what we have to do now is
Mm.
it seems as if we have come to the conclusion that the blame rests with the individual. But the individual is a product of the society, of the home, of the community. So
Hmm.
we then have to appeal to the forerunners, because when a child comes into this world, he is a clean blank slate, and
Hmm.
he develops based on the environment in which he is being raised. And that's why you have people blaming the parents, they
But
blame the
most
school,
times
they
the
blame the
parents are
church.
clean people. The parents are
Pardon?
most times the parents are clean people, clean,
Yeah.
decent people.
Mhm.
These children just got their
Trying
mind
and
different.
doing their best,
So we got to find the root cause, and the root
which
cause might
basically
be,
might be found in that study you're recommending.
yep,
Do
yep,
a comparison between what's going right in the family islands and what's not going right
mm,
on the island of New Providence, and
mm,
see how we can bring this thing together so that as a nation we can move forward
mm,
progressively, as our motto say, forward, onward, upward, together. Because
yep,
the wealth of our nation is not only in the health of the people, but in the mental mindset and how we see ourselves as a nation. And I think we better end, because my next point is going to take us down a path
yeah.
that
Well,
will far exceed our time
let's
that
close.
we've already gone over.
Let's close because you go into suicide and all the rest of them. I can leave that alone till another day. Anyway, so Mel, I leave this in close. There's a song on they write. I don't can't remember who wrote it. Say the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them
Well,
all the
I
way.
know who sings it or
Okay,
who sung it.
inside. Give them
Whitney
a sense.
Houston.
Okay, give them a sense
Yeah,
of
yeah.
I learn to love. Make it easier. Make them live a life. So if Whitney sing that song, that's what we can leave today. We can leave on that
Let's
song.
invest in the children.
Mhm.
Let's start from scratch.
There you go. Anyway, it's Mel and Tony under the tree where we meet every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's under the tree chat. Folks, I'll see you all Wednesday morning, 7:15. Have a great day. Bye, Mel.
Bye, Tony.